difficult, but thousands of families have an extra hurdle to overcome. It's called attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD. Doctors say at least 1 to 3 children have ADHD in a classroom of 30 kids. We are recognizing National ADHD Week here on Fox 5. Here is one mother's story. Meet Blake. He's your typical fun-loving 8-year-old, but just a few years ago, you wouldn't see him playing baseball or any games with other kids.
Little things would set him off. You know, for instance, if somebody was trying to go down the slide, maybe that he wanted to go down, he would have, it would really upset him.
Melinda McNaughton is Blake's mother. We sat down with her to better understand her journey, the road to answers about what was wrong with her son.
He was very stubborn and had his own mind as far as what we were going to do and how we were going to do it. So that was challenging, but I thought, he's just a strong little kid. That's good.
But on a fall afternoon 5 years ago, Blake told Melinda, "Mommy, I'm a bad boy." Blake was 3. Melinda knew those words were not to be taken lightly.
And I remember sitting there almost this sense of panic going through me, thinking, okay, if we're already having these kinds of self-esteem issues, how is it going to snowball and what kind of life is he going to have?
At that point, Melinda reached out every way she could to try to help Blake. After extensive evaluations, she discovered Blake had attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD. And as Melinda will tell you, it's not just a label, it's a serious behavioral disorder.
I had no idea that that's what ADHD was. I was stunned. I was relieved to have a diagnosis because that meant there was some kind of answer, and it meant that I wasn't a bad parent.
Melinda worked with doctors and teachers to help Blake. At one point, Blake took medication for his ADHD, but he doesn't anymore. Still, Melinda says she wouldn't rule it out if Blake needs it in the future. Right now, she says his improvement is miraculous.
He's, been worked with so much that he actually helps other children when they're struggling with something. He'll give them advice.
I was like, "Can you please stop swearing?"
Pictures lining the wall of the staircase in Melinda's house capture the steps through Blake's life. They also symbolize the mother-son duo's climb to their current place of progress. Treating children with ADHD is a collaborative effort between doctors, teachers, and parents. And earlier in the show, we talked to a teacher who works with children with ADHD. And joining me now is child psychiatrist Dr. Jeff Rowe. Good morning, Dr. Rowe. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning.
Okay, we were talking about how it's a collaborative effort. So what is it that parents need to do at home while they're taking their children to see a doctor?
Well, first thing is you have to notice that something's not quite right. And once you notice that and you go in to see the doctor, then while you're waiting for the results, probably the best thing you can do is follow the 5-to-1 rule. Which is 5 positives for every negative. It's a little bit different than most people do, but if you notice 5 positive things, then if you need to do a negative, that's okay. But kids will respond to the positive.
Mm-hmm. Of course. And let's get right there to it, those signs. How do I know if my child might have the disorder?
Well, there's 16 different signs and symptoms, but roughly they fall into 3 categories. Mm-hmm. Attention problems, impulsivity problems, and hyperactivity. Not everybody has all the 16 symptoms, which makes it kind of different.
But isn't that kind of normal, like a 3-year-old or 2-year-old just kind of like not paying attention and they're all over the place?
In really severe cases, you can see it at 2 and 3.
Really?
Mostly it comes out at 5 when a kid is put into a classroom. Mm-hmm. So compared to the other kids in the classroom, this child will be more distractible, more impulsive, more hyperactive.
Can kids get through without medication?
Some can. Depends upon the severity. Some kids cannot. And so it all depends. A proper classroom that has good structure, good expectations, good reinforcers can sometimes be enough.
And does it ever dissipate? You know, the kids grow up to be normal, functioning adults in social settings and personal relationships.
Yes. About 40% of the time it goes away completely. Huh. Almost everybody has some decrease of symptoms, particularly the hyperactive symptoms.
That dissipates?
That dissipates.
Okay.
The rest can stay, and when you're adult people with ADHD have difficulty listening to other people talk, distractibility, some poor judgments, still some impulsive kind of decision making, but the hyperactivity really declines.
Okay, well, I want to talk about, there is a convention that's coming up, the CHAD National Convention. That's in November, November 12th through 15th at the Hilton in Anaheim. And if anybody wants more information on that, you can go to chadd.org for more information on that. And I want to say hello because Melinda McNaughton is here in our studio. She is Blake's mom. You just met her in the package. And she was really kind to come down here and join us this morning at Fox 5 Morning News because this is a special cause that is near and dear to her heart. So Melinda, good morning to you. And Dr. Jeff Rowe, thank you to you.
Thank you.
And thanks to Chris Aceto for editing the piece and Leslie Marcus for producing. Okay, we are moving on. You just met her in the package.